It's been a rough few weeks in these pick'ems. I'm falling behind, man. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the James and Dame Show. I'm Will James.
I'm Josiah Adamas.
And this will be the Week 14 preview. Jeez, we're moving along. We're chugging along.
Where did the time go?
And yeah, I mean, just to recap last week, we had some strong performances. Not out of necessarily the two of us.
No.
I've fallen to third. Josiah's in second. New Cats is pulling away after going 15-1.
That's crazy.
And Amber also coming in at 14-2. So props to Amber. Yeah, we didn't do as good.
I mean,
not horrible.
I did okay.
Playoff equivalent, but not
I'm at 12-4.
nowhere near what everyone else did. So
I'm at 12-4.
we'll jump into this. But again, if you haven't seen any of the ones before, or you just don't pay attention, link in the description to join the Pick'ems and compete with us. Even though we're almost done with this season, you know, we still look at week to week, and we welcome the challenge. So come on by. But we'll get into this, starting with Thursday Night Football, which this might be the best Thursday Night Football game we have. I don't want to jinx it or anything, knock on wood, but we got Packers visiting Lions on Thursday night. Potentially a good game. I mean, we've had, one other one?
Yeah.
Maybe?
I think one, but other than that, yeah.
So
This one's going to be a tough one.
this one is going to be tough.
Well, I'm going to go run through the look into this game. Packers they're very hungry for revenge right now. Obviously, the Lions beat the Packers at Lambeau, so they're not very happy about that, and so are the Packers fans. Obviously, being a really good team means you have a bunch of fans who think that you're the best team in the league. So, meaning that the Packers will be coming out guns blazing and trying to overthrow the Lions and make them fall a game, possibly letting the Vikings sneak into first place in that division, but also make it easier for the Packers to take that division. So, knowing how these games go, while it is, like I said, it was a tough decision. However, I went with one decision. The Packers do really well in the later half of the seasons, kind of like how San Francisco does, but specifically the Packers tend to do really decently towards the end of the season. Also, it's a kind of a revenge game as well since a few weeks ago. Lions, while 11-1, you are going to drop a game soon, and I think this is the one. It's a divisional game. It's going to be a close game. I do think the Packers are going to stun the Lions and possibly pull up an upset. So I'm going with that.
Yeah, I was looking at the Lions mostly for this, but you brought up one key point that kind of pushed me back to the Packers, which is going to be my pick, which is the phenomenal record of Matt LaFleur in December and January. Yep. It is near unmatched, if matched at all.
I don't think
I don't think there's anyone who plays like he does.
Yeah. And I also have to give props to not just LaFleur, but also, I mean, while a very young team, they are still really good. At 9-3, that team could also be either like 11-1 too. Like this is also a really good team. Both these teams play like they're undefeated. It's just obviously you're gonna have some down games, you're gonna have some up games. Detroit is bound for a loss at some point, and they have a couple of the last games they haven't played very well, especially against not that great teams. This is probably going to be the one to kind of knock them off a peg or two.
Both going Packers. Moving along now. Jaguars visiting the Titans. It's going to be Mac Jones, Jacksonville again.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to be pretty. I'm going to keep it short and say Titans just because the Jaguars are already a mess. You put in Mac Jones, and it's not going to be pretty. I don't think they're going to be great. It's going to come down to how much can Brian Thomas do, but or Travis Etienne, I guess. But I don't know. Titans, as much as they've been struggling, as much as Will Levis has been struggling, Titans, this should be easy, and that says a lot after last week. For anything to be easy for them, but I think this one will be, so I'm going to go with the Titans.
I am also going to go with the Titans. Jacksonville is basically they're done for. So I mean, the Titans, they're also done, but they are slightly better. So my reasoning.
Yeah.
Not much to it. So
Next we can move along then. We got the Jets visiting the Dolphins. Dolphins actually playing with a chance to get back into things. It's a long shot, but they're looking a lot better than the Jets right now.
they are definitely. Yeah, I mean, they're going to make a push. 6-7 is definitely reasonable, at least up to this week. So, yeah, I'd say Dolphins win here. Is it going to be pretty? Probably not, but also we'll see.
Yeah, it's just Jets have not been great, and
they've not been
it's a
good at all.
divisional game. But I think the Dolphins can easily handle the Jets. Jets have been such a mess, and I mean, they're letting things go left and right, and it's just not pretty at all. Not good, ugly.
Not good.
So with that being said, we'll go along to one of the interesting matchups, Kirk Cousins revenge game.
Yep. I am not very positive on the Falcons and their playing style right now. They have been sloppy. They have not been good. Kirk Cousins with 4 interceptions this last week was not very convincing either if I was going to choose them. It was, I mean, if you can't do much against a Chargers defense, what will you do against a Vikings defense? And that's what I decided.
I mean, that's a good question. They are very different.
They are definitely very different, but it's also a matter of can they, I guess, keep pace, I guess. It's just Kirk Cousins hasn't been very, I don't know.
I think it'll be an interesting game. You mentioned you were going with the Vikings, correct?
Yes, I did mention I was going with the Vikings.
Just making sure we get that. I'm looking at this game beyond just like statistics and logic, and looking this is a revenge game. I think the Falcons are in danger, and I think they know that now, as they're now tied with the Buccaneers.
Okay.
And on the edge of the hot seat, Vikings, they're going to be looking to try and take that division, like you mentioned, if the Lions do pull out, or if the Packers pull out a win on Thursday night. Vikings are going to be looking to take back potentially that division title. I think they're going to be susceptible to an upset here, though. They've been playing a lot of games close. Falcons inconsistent, but with the potential to play very well and put together a really good game, and on any given Sunday. And I think that this is a good opportunity for that, and I think the Falcons are going to squeak out a win here.
All right. Well, I mean, I can see it, but also the Falcons have not been. They have not been convincing.
No, they haven't been, but I think I'm not going based off of that, and that's if I was going based off of that, I would have gone the Vikings 100%. But
definitely.
Looking ahead, we got the Saints visiting the Giants. Saints coming off of their first loss under Rizzi, and losing Taysom Hill, who has found new light on that team since Allen's firing. But yeah, losing him for the year, that's also gonna suck. But you are still going against the Giants, and
knowing the Saints, they tend to make sure they're still in the 500 range or near it. So this is the point of the season where they're probably going to win some random games and keep them out of the top 10 picks in the draft, if they really want new pieces or whatever. Also, the Giants are just
bad.
They're not good. They're not playing for anything right now.
You got what, Drew Lock or Tommy DeVito starting, Tyron Tracy, Malik Neighbors. I mean, it's been the same story. The Giants are just bad.
Trash.
Barely losing to the Cowboys last week, but I mean, yeah, I'm going Saints because at least Rizzi has seemed to do pretty good things.
Yeah.
Going against a much easier opponent, softer opponent this week than last week, I think they have a better chance.
I agree.
I'm talking about easier opponents. Looking ahead to the next game, the Panthers visiting the Eagles. Now I say that, and I am going to still go with the Eagles,
Same here.
but Panthers have been playing a lot better.
They have been playing better, and they can play spoiler. Obviously, if you look at betting lines and everything, the Eagles are very, very, very much favored in this matchup. Panthers not so much. So it'd be funny if that were to happen, but obviously not everything that we kind of want to happen does happen. So we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah. Again, I'll side with the Eagles, but I'm not counting the Panthers out of this one because what they've done over the course of this year, it doesn't show in the record book, but
No.
it is impressive. And I'm excited to see what they can do going forward, and see if they can pull off any upsets. I don't like it against the Eagles, but
It's definitely doable.
it is up there. Moving along, though, we get to a divisional matchup with the Browns going against the Steelers.
They're angry. Especially what you did, Browns. They're angry. So they're probably going to whoop your butt.
Yeah, part of me hopes that the Browns are just a kryptonite to the Steelers. It would just be really funny.
It'd be funny, yes, but also no.
I think the Steelers are going to come out and smack them around. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to.
Steelers.
I don't know how to feel if this is going to be low scoring, if it's going to be close, if it's going to be high scoring. It's going to be a blowout. Who knows? But
It's
I
going to
feel like
be another
Steelers.
typical Jameis Winston game. However, the Browns defense is probably not going to do well. Steelers offense will do enough again. You know, it's very stereotypical AFC North. Or at least these two.
Yeah,
So I don't expect anything different. So
absolutely.
it'd be
So,
interesting if they did another high scoring game.
yeah, that'd be nice. Is that going to happen? Are we going to get another snow game? Who knows? Who knows?
We might.
But we'll move along.
We got the Buccaneers hosting the Raiders. Buccaneers are still in playoff contention, and they're actually technically tied with the Falcons right now. Buccaneers want that division.
Absolutely.
They are going to. I believe that the Buccaneers are going to be in the playoffs, but they are not contenders. So I am saying that the Buccaneers are going to win this game and finally move over 500 since week 4 or whatever it was.
It has been a while, but the Buccaneers actually have one of the easiest schedules
The remaining, yeah, they
So-
have a very easy schedule.
They might be able to cruise, and this is I think they might still drop a game or two, and they shouldn't, but I think
they're
we might
probably
see
going
them
to.
pull the division out like they did last year. Again, Falcons are up there, and we'll see if they can compete with them as well. But Raiders they're just not a good team right now. We'll see what the likes of Bowers and the newfound breakout Tucker can do, but I like what the Buccaneers have, and I think Mayfield is gonna have himself a bakelicious day.
Remember when we thought that the Falcons would have more than or around 10 to 11 wins?
I think they still could.
It's still good, but yeah, it's
It's
not looking
just-
too great right now.
It comes down to that coaching.
Yeah.
Moving along though,
Another divisional game. What's fun? What fun? I'm still gonna go with the stereotype. Cardinals are technically favored in this game right now.
they are.
Seahawks, congratulations, you're gonna win this game. So Seahawks are gonna move to 8-5 and currently take a hold in that division. So
I'm also just looking at the same thing. Cardinals technically are favored in this game, and they've also just been a little bit more inconsistent. Like they just haven't been consistent. They've been rough. The Seahawks have just been playing a little bit better, and I kind of like what they're going with right now.
yeah, I mean it hasn't been pretty sometimes, but it's been better than recent weeks.
As far as odds go, people have this about 50-50. And I
Yeah, I
agree.
mean,
this
it's
one's
valid.
mostly just on the sense of we don't know which team's going to show up to play.
Which is still very valid because sometimes it's one team, sometimes it's both teams, sometimes it's
Neither.
neither of them.
Neither have been looking phenomenal this year.
No.
They've had their ups and downs,
Still
and
going to have to win that division.
it's just there's no consistency. So,
Yeah.
who knows?
Oh, well.
Moving along, though, to the Bills visiting the Rams. The Bills are one of the scariest teams in the NFL right now.
Mhm.
And they're on the road in Los Angeles. I think Rams could very well play spoiler here. But I'm not going to go against the red hot Bills, and I'm going to stick with the Bills here.
I am going to also stick with the Bills. Also, Rams are not as loaded as they were the last time they played in SoFi Stadium when after that Super Bowl. I'm specifically remembering that Week 1 Bills and Rams game from a couple years ago now. Yeah, a couple years ago. It was not a pretty game for the Rams. So I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing here. Obviously, two different teams, but Bills are red hot. Rams are still injured and I guess in pieces. So
Yeah.
they're not looking very promising right now.
Yeah. Bills all the way this time. Bears visiting the 49ers. A lot of people are going with the 49ers on this one.
Yeah.
You think this one's a little tougher than it looks on paper?
Yeah, it kind of does because the Bears just fired Eberflus, and also usually when a coach gets fired and the interim comes in, usually they do well.
This is true.
The Niners are without CMC
And Trey Mason.
and Trey Mason.
Not Trey Mason, Jordan Mason.
Jordan Mason, yeah. You know what? I'll play spoiler. I'm picking the Bears.
Wow. Great minds think alike. I was also looking at the Bears just because 49ers offense has not played up to par.
Yes.
Bears just looking to get something right. I think this is a good week to do it. I think either one could look bad, but I think the Bears are way underperforming. 49ers obviously are also underperforming, but I don't think they're going to fix anything.
No. And the Bears need something to turn around, so I think this is the point to do it.
49ers, they're just your running back room is rough. You're just not performing well on offense. You're not playing to your strengths.
Mm-hmm.
It's not looking good, and I think they're going to continue.
Yep. And we got, oh, great, the Sunday night game. Yeah. So we have the Chargers visiting the Chiefs.
I'm just going to say right on the open, I'm going Chargers.
Really?
It's not a popular pick, especially with the way the Chiefs have been playing, but I feel like they're due for another loss. And you know what? They suffered their loss, so I'm okay actually going against them. Chargers, they're playing really well. Last time these two played, it didn't go great, but they were that close. And
That close.
I think they're going to suffer a loss to at least the Chargers or the Broncos in their second matchups, if not both of them, because both of them are playing much better.
Much better now.
And the Chiefs are kind of. I think the Chiefs will still probably pull out the division, but I think it's really close.
They definitely will. Ooh, you're making me. I'm on the fence with both of these teams right now. Chiefs have black magic though, but the Chargers though, I don't know. I did say that this year's Chiefs remind me of 2023 Eagles. They remind me of 2020 Pittsburgh Steelers. They also remind me of 2017 Pittsburgh Steelers, where they do really well for most of the season, and towards the end of it, they utterly collapse. And then they go to the playoffs and get slapped around. This Chiefs team is giving me the same vibe. I've been saying that for at least a week, I think, but I wasn't entirely confirmed on that basis quite yet, mostly because I was a little concerned about what it was. But that game against the Raiders, if you can barely beat the Raiders, no. And Broncos are angry, and Chargers are also angry because they want to win. You know what? I might actually pick the Chargers. I'm going to probably regret this then. We shall see.
I don't regret anything.
I think this is the first time I've picked against the Chiefs since week 6. something like that. I've been picking the Chiefs every week ever since that one loss or that one win that the Chiefs have had. But
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll move along then and cover the last game. Ugly.
this is going to be ugly.
We got the Bengals visiting the Cowboys. The Bengals. I'm going Bengals just because they're. If you shouldn't lose this, it's Cooper Rush still. They're not gonna. I don't think the Cowboys are gonna be able to win a shootout. But I've been wrong before, especially when it comes to the Bengals. But I'm gonna put faith in the Bengals.
This is one of those things where it's not for that. It's not the same reason why I'm picking the Bengals. I think the Bengals have a slightly better offense than a Cowboys defense. And the Bengals are going to put up more points than the Cooper Rush offense. It's just a difference between, I think, well, I'm looking at one side of the ball right now, the Bengals offense and the Cowboys defense. That's what I was focusing on. Cowboys defense has not been, sure they've been leading that team to victories, but also last week you played the Giants. No, so Bengals are probably going to, scrape a couple wins here and there, but this is probably going to be one of them. So I'm also picking the Bengals.
All right, cool.
Go Bungles.
Yeah. So that will wrap up Week 14 preview. Again, click the link in the description if you want to join us, or if you just want to hate on our picks, go to the comments.
It's bound to happen at some point again. So,
but we appreciate you for being here and watching.
Yep.
We look forward to live stream for those who are our regulars and maybe some newcomers. But again, thank you for joining us. This has been the Week 14 recap or preview. Not yet.
That's next week.
That's next week. But yeah. Bye.
It's been a long day. Bye.